up this magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, they like lights, camera, action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me out, oh my, we ride. For my brothers, no lie, all we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me? And now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh. Hey, how could you lie to my face? People claim that they be loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells, I'm not going back to many problems to be worried, I'm straight. Me and Craig had to watch for the Jakes. On the road, this crazy, I get 80 a show. Say my money, stack it up, it look like I'm foreign cars, driving fast, I never done this before. Yeah, drown out my problems, let me Run up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Hit dials, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's noted in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey, or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the jets, the coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just try not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash.
Going big, going Time to bring the bass burn.
Swear I'm going big like a lineman. She want bring the limes in. She wanna pull up to the crib, we can't dine in. Up right away, couldn't even get a vine in. Straight with the money we aligned in. Tell me how they broke, tryna chime in. Jesus watching over here in diamonds. He the only reason why I do not get violent. Ay, cause he gave me patience. Got a bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't gotta pay rent. Ay, I know we don't want
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. With that, let's get over to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome with the call from New Orleans. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, it is always a celebration here. The kicker for the Saints, Will Lutz, has it teed up, and here we go from New Orleans. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
Forget the measurables. His temperament, which is so even-keeled, often masks a burning desire to win and perform. This guy takes it seriously when he lines up to play, and usually he puts on a nice performance.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Cousins. And this one complete to Smith. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football.
28, and that is well short of the first.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure they didn't give up much run after catch.
And he finds Cook. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. They go for it on 4th down, and it pays off big time as they pick up 29.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on 4th down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on 4th down here early in the game.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Play action now. Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. Give him 9 on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area, that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs. It gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. On play action, Cousins. And his pass incomplete. Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive. But this is 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He's going to go up top for the end zone. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So a special teams mistake on the field goal try leads to a new set of downs inside the red zone. To throw is Cousins. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Trey Hendrickson, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Throwing is Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the first quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now, flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive. Maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
Cousins. It's caught. And it's 8-0. Opening drive touchdown, and 2-point conversion.
Amazing nowadays for the kickers. I've actually talked with a few of them. They're more concerned about the point after touchdown than actually missing regular field goals. So maybe the coach is taking some pressure off here and just going for 2 and saying, I'm saving you for the big stuff later.
He's hanging out by the net. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at the 20.
Check, Lucky.
Shotgun now for Brees. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. 1 quarter down, 8-0 the score. On 2nd and 12, Breeze. It's caught. Smith. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Call it a gain of 5 as they move the sticks.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Gain of 11. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help, because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
For mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever it is.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 16-yard touchdown, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so, because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Now Sean Payton going to say, let's go for 2 on this one. To throw, it's Breeze. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. I know it's still just the first half, but we'll see if that 2 points looms large later.
I would have kicked it. And I know that they were trying to equal the score, but sometimes you kind of get seduced into that. It's the first half. Kick the extra point and continue to play so you don't have to chase points later.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, partner, let's talk Super Bowl. We have to. Before the year, by the way, we made predictions for the Super Bowl. You got one of the teams right. You had Kansas City and New Orleans, but you had the Saints winning. I also had the Saints there, but losing to New England. Now we get a chance to rectify things. So who's going to win the big game, partner?
Well, I think San Francisco wins 35-34. MVP, usually a quarterback. But in this case, we're going to have an upset. Middle linebacker Fred Warner is going to have 13 tackles and an interception return for a touchdown and be the upset MVP winner over Jimmy Garoppolo, because in the Super Bowl, if the quarterback does anything, he wins the award. But this time, the defense, which got them there, is going to take charge, and Fred Warner walks away. Super Bowl MVP. 49ers Super Bowl champions.
Wow, you went above and beyond with great specifics there. I'll be a little bit more general. I'll just say that the Chiefs are going to win by a touchdown, and yes, I'll go with the MVP being number 15, Patrick Mahomes.
And if you're not really rooting in this game, how great a matchup is this?
It's fantastic. Going to be a ton of fun. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 4 yards the pickup, first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. First down, here's the run with Cook. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, 49 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that.
And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Well,
split the difference, and they're right where they would have been with 2 PATs. They got the two-point conversion the first time. They failed there.
Interesting, isn't it? Because the first time you go after your first score, that feels like a gamble. The second time when they tried it again, that felt like, what the heck, right? Because, as you said, even if you miss it, you split the difference, and you're right on schedule at 14 points.
Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Now Brees finding Kamara, and he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Brees going to come up here, 1st and 10, and he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Brees able to find the veteran again, and a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop.
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And an out.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
Ginn has it complete. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Brees again. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And he missed it. That was neither far enough. It wasn't even on target. It's no good. So we have reached halftime here. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say not get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter.
5-9. 54. Here we go.
To throw again on second down. Brees nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him. 3rd and long now after the sack of Brees, and the Saints up against it here. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
The throw from Brees into the hands of Smith. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. Brees now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And now it's 2nd down. Charles, you and I have made our predictions for Super Bowl 54. We're coming soon, the official Madden NFL 20 Super Bowl prediction. Something Madden folks do every year is predict how they think the big game is going to play out. And that prediction, with the help, by the way, from Peyton and Eli Manning, is going to be revealed on Thursday, January 30th, 9 Eastern. Go to EA.com/theprediction to check it out. And keep playing Madden to feed the machine and tell us who you think will win as well. Again, it's EA.com/theprediction. Brees here finding Kamara. It's a pickup of 5. Brings up 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn, and it's 3rd down.
He's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 38-yard line. Brees now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. A quick sidestep here, CD. The NFL doing something kind of neat for its 100th season, which wraps up with Super Bowl 54. They're inducting a 20-man class, a centennial class, into the Pro Football Hall of Fame this year. Now, a number of modern-day candidates won't be announced until the night before the Super Bowl, but 15 have already been announced, and it's a pretty good list so far. Guys like Harold Carmichael, Bobby Dillon, Alex Karras, Donnie Shell, Duke Slater, a number of others in there as well, CD.
Yeah, you're right about that, and what this does is they hope it helps ease the backlog of some of the great candidates that are out there. You know, a Max Speedy and Ed Sprinkle, people may have forgotten.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Trey Hendrickson able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this 3rd quarter. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down. And in incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. Touchdown, Vikings! Adam Thielen, 53 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline? I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 2nd and 12, Breeze forced out to his left. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the fourth quarter of play. Now Breeze on third down. That'll be complete to Cook. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the first.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a first down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
Breeze now to throw. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Danielle Hunter. And now, goodness, possession's going to go over right at the 10-yard line. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy, because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we got...
Ted Ginn's gonna go! 20, 10, touchdown, New Orleans! Ted Ginn, 94 yards. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. So from back deep in their home territory all the way into the end zone. Do you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance, because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, have a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Well, where do you find that one in the playbook, Charles?
You don't. You absolutely don't. And sometimes what happens is guys want to make a big play, and they turn it into a really bad one. Sometimes you're best just to cut your loss.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Hendrickson able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. This is Harris. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Danielle Hunter getting him once again his third sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. Now Breeze. And this is Crump with the grab. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
The Saints on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Well, a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Well, to say that this has not been his game is probably a big understatement. I mean, he is all over the place. Mechanics are off, not accurate, except if you're playing on defense, because they picked off a good number of passes.
Yeah, all the INTs, but they're throwing it off his back foot. Pressure coming, just chucking it downfield. He can't do that right now.
No, you can't do that at all. And I think one of the hardest things for a guy having a day like this one is to find a way to just kind of get out of it, kind of get yourself back to neutral. Because what you try and do is make even more spectacular plays to make up for it, and it usually leads to more bad ones.
Break it down, fellas. Break it.
The Saints do snap it. It's Breeze. And Ging's got it. Past the 20. 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Ted Ginn. His second touchdown of the afternoon. As they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the fourth quarter. A big spot now for the Saints as they'll indeed go for 2. Breeze to throw again. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete, and a failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say,
and he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
To try again after the sack. Cousins, Cameron Jordan picks up his second sack of the afternoon. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now Cousins going for the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. He's going to look deep down the field. And no, it's incomplete. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So nursing a slim lead, and that is the opposite of protecting that slim lead.
All I can think here is that head coach, he knows more about what's going on with his team than we do. He must know something's up. Either he has trouble with his punter, right? He's worried about his defense. There's an explanation in there that we're going to ask for after the game, because in this situation, coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it.
And Lutz puts this one through. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
So Cousins and the Vikings down 22-21, 44 seconds to go. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
You go!
Here's Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. And Diggs has it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. So it all comes down to the foot of Dan Bailey. He missed his only attempt earlier. This time he's going for the win. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And a time.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no else. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. Feel like Ginger from Casino. Aces up my sleeve though. Right before I leave, I said like I'm Dino. Think I'm part Italian. Blame it on Gino. Smells like the medallion. The skin on cappuccino. I don't kiss and tell. Keep your distance from myself. Fettuccine with the snails in a 5-star hotel. And I wish he's well when they wish for me to fail. I might donate petty bills. They can't get it by themselves.
That's why you treat women good, but not too good. I give them too much, then they don't need me. I give them just
yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no else. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. I'ma get it either way. I don't even gotta say what I want when I want. They just put it on my plate. I could get it right away. Take you through my day to day. Wake and pray, make that play. Get some good at my place. There's some on the way. Cause my bro's on the way. I got stones on my gold. I got loads in my safe. Had a 7-figure summer, so I'm putting on some weight. Set up getting thick, so I put it on display.
With this round here, I make a joke, everybody laughs. I know I'm funny, but I'm not that funny.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no else. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself, yeah.
See.